How would you like to decrease the Agile churn on your Agile projects? And by Agile churn is just another term for scope creep. Um, we would all like to do that, right? So my name is Tim McDermott, and I'm a senior IT project manager. And I am very fortunate in that I live in a very beautiful city called Tampa Bay, Florida. And there is all kinds of nature and beautiful things around me. And I'll just turn a little bit to show you where I'm at right now. I'm out in a nature preserve called Althea Scrub. And I believe the river right behind me here is the Althea River. Very beautiful river. This is the nature preserve. I'm standing out on the pier, etc. So I like to do these videos outside because I'm inside all the time as an Agile Scrum Master and IT project manager. Agile churn is what I'm going to talk about today and how to deal with it. What is Agile churn? Specifically, if you start a sprint and you're in the middle of the sprint and something comes up where you have to add a story, a piece of work that has to be done during the middle of the sprint. So you're adding a story to the sprint. That's Agile churn, and it's not a good thing. It's a bad thing. It has a bad impact. It slows you down during the sprint. The sprint has to continue and has to still meet the same deadline that it did when it began. Adding things into it doesn't change that, unfortunately, but it increases the amount of work. Now, when you do that, what you're doing to your Scrum team is you're adding stress to their lives because they still have to keep the work that they had planned during the planning meeting. They have to keep working on that and get that done and get this additional piece of work done all at the same time. That creates stress, and it lowers their morale. It makes them increases their burnout, makes them want to quit, etc. So it's not a good thing, and it might slow down. Yeah, it might impact whether or not the sprint is going to meet its goal. So it could impact your performance and how your team is viewed by it could impact your statistics that the people in leadership are looking at, cause your statistics to go down, etc. Now, so how do you fix it? How do you meet it? How do you come up with plans for reducing the risk of Agile churn comes up? Well, you have to look at the causes. What are the usual causes? Some of the causes are legal compliance. A law changes somewhere, so you have to. And when they do that, they give you deadlines, hard deadlines that you cannot miss, or else you have to pay severe financial penalties, etc. So those have to be taken care of. Another thing is a security breach. Somebody breaks in to your system. You have to stop and deal with that during the middle of the sprint. Or if there's just a risk that's been exposed, something in your software is creating an exposure that the hackers can utilize to get into your system. Those have to be dealt with on an emergency basis. Defects may pop up when you're in the middle of a sprint that have to be dealt with in a timely fashion. And just an ineffective product owner is supposed to be the shield. He's supposed to be the guy who's the buffer between you and the users making their weird requests, their crazy requests. He's supposed to be the one that says no, that pushes back on those requests during the sprint. So you got to have a strong product owner for that. Now, how do you manage this when it happens or when it starts to come up? Number one thing, push back hard. Why ask hard questions? Why does this have to be done? And why does it have to be done right now, etc. And make them explain themselves. Make them have to go to the senior leadership team, senior leadership individuals, to convince those people that this needs to be done. If you do that, that'll scare them, and they might reconsider it rather than have to face the leadership. So another thing is way of dealing with it, just build in a reserve amount of time into your sprints to deal with these issues, because they're going to come up, because that's just the way the world is. Things happen. So plan it, build a buffer in your retrospectives. If you see that these agile churn is happening a lot, use your retrospectives to brainstorm with your developers to come up with ideas on how to reduce the agile churn. That's it. Thank you all very much. I hope you will all follow my lead and get outdoors on the weekend. Go have an adventure. Take your mind off your troubles at work, etc. And as for me, I still have a long hike back to my truck. So thank you all very much. If you like the video, click on like, click on comments. I'll answer any questions that you have, and share the video. Thank you all very much.